This is why time is not the most important asset, and actually attention is. The thing with time is that the amount of time that you have in a day is fixed. It's about how you use that time, how effectively you use that time. That's where attention comes into the equation, because where you focus your attention is the same as where you focus your energy. As a society, we're wired to value time a lot, and that makes sense. We only have a finite amount of time. As a society, we're conditioned to believe time is money. The problem is that we spend so much of our attention focusing on how we don't have enough time that we end up wasting our time focusing our attention on something that isn't actually effective. This is where consuming content and scrolling on social media comes into play as well. We all know the brain rot, mindless scrolling pattern, but what's more important? I've been distracted by a horse. Oh, there's two horses. What we don't realize about mindless scrolling is that with each piece of content that we're taking in, yes, we all know about the dopamine cycle, but we're actually focusing our attention onto something. And there's a subconscious part of our brain which knows to expect this piece of content to give you something. You're focusing your attention on something on the outside to give you something that you think that you need on the inside. But what if we started redirecting that focus, redirecting that attention, that same energy that we're using or spending into creating something, into something that is fulfilling? And I'm not saying you have to create content. I just mean redirecting that attention into constructive thought, into constructive activity, which allows for the creative centers of your minds to be activated. Because that is actually where we find fulfillment. That is actually where we find dopamine. And that is actually where we find the lack of overstimulation. And that is actually where we find peace. So I want you to reframe how you think about time. And instead of thinking about how much time you have in a day, I want you to think about how much of that time are you spending focusing your attention into the areas of your life that you care about, into the areas of your life that you want to grow.